How you guys doing?
Good.
All right, let me start by saying every time I speak to a crowd, I always thank God for my life, for being able to be here, not dead or in jail. I too have come from similar background as panelists. I got comfortable in jail. Jail was like a second home, you know. I don't know, it's just dysfunction. Dysfunction became normal. It wasn't a problem for me. So my name is Skipp Townsend, and I am the co-founder of Second Call. I saw some of you last night, but for those of you who don't know, it started simply because I wanted to stop the violence in the community. So there's a guy named Ronnie Barron, and he's working in a program. He's speaking to a high school group, and he says the development of the desire for success will determine the level of success achieved. And when he said that, it captured my mind because I know he had went to prison. He was 17 years old when he went to Tuckers Bay, which is like one of the worst prisons in the world. And I knew he was a young fellow who went there. So knowing he didn't go to college, I said, where are you getting your information from? How do you speak like that? And he told me a guy named Bo Taylor introduced him to Jim Brown, an ex-football player. And they had the American program. So when I hooked up with Bo Taylor, who I had been running from for years, he made me a part of the Unity One program. And it was at that time that I realized there was a lot of resources, a lot of great things going on, but it wasn't inclusive of my community. It didn't include my community. So even the Southern California Ceasefire Committee had started. And when I went to the meetings, they kindly asked me to leave. So yes, I've been a part of it for 10 years, but they didn't want me there at the beginning as well. So Second Call started just with violence reduction. We wanted to stop the violence in the community. And what I would do is I pick up the phone every morning, I call, and I say, who hires ex-felons, parolees? Who hires people that got tattoos all over their face and neck? And, you know, one guy has shut up right here on the forehead. I'm thinking, who's going to hire him? So when I would find that people did say that they would hire these individuals, well, the people who I was looking for the jobs for, they would say, well, that's too far, or they don't pay enough money. Or if they did go to work, they show up high, they show up late, they show up drunk. They work a week. One guy actually got a paycheck, folded it up and stuck it in the crack of his butt. The reason he did that is because hanging out on the streets at night, and he was selling crack, he'd take that money and stick it in his butt so he wouldn't get robbed, so the police wouldn't find him. So he took that same attitude with him to the job. And when he looked at his paycheck, that was it for him. He wasn't going back. He said, it must be a mistake. He said, they paid me too much money, and he left and said, come on, let's go. I said, man, that's yours. Stop running. And he said, no, let's go. And he thought it was a mistake, and he never went back to work. So about a month later, he asked me, he said, shit, man, you think I can go back? He said, you can't go back now. You can't go back. You blew that. You know, but he didn't get the concept. So it was at that point that I knew that I couldn't just help people be better carpenters, better plumbers, better electricians. We had to create a concept to help them be better people. How can I help people be better? Because if I'm a bad son, I'm going to be a bad father. If I'm a bad bus driver, a bad burger flipper, I'm going to end up being a bad electrician or a bad carpenter. So we do life skills. And people come in, have hard hats, boots on, tool belts, and they say, yeah, I'm here for the job. I hear y'all got jobs, y'all hiring. And we know right there, you're not ready. You're not ready. And we're not here for that. We're here to talk about how do you deal with anger? How do you deal with emotions? How do you deal with low self-esteem? As a man, how do I deal with depression? Some of the unresolved trauma that individuals are going through, they don't let it come out until they're in a situation where now they can resolve everything with anger or with violence. So what we do in our life skill class is we talk about how to deal with everyday situations that people come across. We break down dysfunction. What is in a dysfunctional family? And let's deal with all the unresolved trauma that comes in this. It's just like if I ate a hamburger 10 years ago. It's the way I wanted: cheese, onions, lettuce, tomatoes, whatever, but it's not digested. It's just sitting inside me. Well, this is the way that we look at unresolved trauma. Something that happened to me 15, 20 years ago. If I have not healed from that, if I've never dealt with it, like a dog that poops in the corner, I don't want to clean it up, so what do? I take a towel or something, I put the towel over it, so I don't have to see it, I don't have to look at it. But is that poop still here? Yes. My way of dealing with it is just covering it up. And the way I cover it up is real simple to see now, a piece of paper, a towel or something, but the way I cover it up is I drain it. or I might smoke something, or I do something other than to actually deal with this. And even when I deal with it, even if I say, that's kind of hard, but no, but even if I deal with it by getting a shovel and scooping the poop up and throwing it in the trash, it's still an experience that has happened that I have not healed from. So when my kids come and they playing on the floor, I'm going to tell them, no, don't go over there. Don't play over there. Don't do that. It's going to be something still. I might not look that way, or I might not trust that area. So that's what we talk about. I've dealt with it, but I haven't healed from it. So what it would take would be for me to actually start the healing process, which in this situation I'm giving you an analogy of would be to start the cleaning process. If I started cleaning this up, and every time I went by there, I'm sweeping, I'm mopping, I'm cleaning, that's the healing process to getting that poop stain, that poop thought, that poop everything out of my mind. Well, I'm using the analogy as if it's something that I can actually see, but imagine if it's inside. Imagine if it's something that I'm holding on to. Imagine that poop is a bag, and I'm holding on to a bag of poop and I won't let it go because I was hurt, because I was going through something. How can I go to work and think I'm going to be successful if I have issues that I have not yet dealt with or healed from? So, second call, we're actually trauma-informed facilitators. We deal with multiple traumas. We deal with recurring traumas. We deal with what we call the multiple traumas or rupture and repair. We have individuals who are also in our group who are now electricians who were wrongfully convicted. We have one man who has done 18 years. We have one man who did what he did, and he did 27 years. But there are multiple recurring traumas because as they're going through something, something else happens. And as they're dealing with that situation, something else happens. It's like rupture and repair. We want to start the healing process on one situation. Little brother was killed. And before they can deal with something, their mama was killed. Before they can deal with this, now they went to jail. They were accused of something they didn't do. So we have multiple recurring traumas, chronic traumas that we're dealing with. But the thing they come to us and say is, I just need a job. How can you just need a job when your brother was killed just a month ago? How can you need a job when you're out on bail and you know you didn't commit that crime? So it goes deeper than that. And what we want to do is we don't want to look what's on the surface. We don't want to see what people are running to. We want to see what they're running from. What are the people running from that are coming to us needing help? Why is the individual coming to me at 34, 35 years old saying, I just need a job? What has happened up in their life until that point where they didn't realize that they were on the wrong path, that they didn't realize that not only were they in dysfunction, but they were teaching the cycle of violence, teaching the cycle of dysfunction, teaching a way of life that was not conducive for them, but not for their children and people who looked up to them as well. So what we do is we use the mindset of being holistic. And the holistic approach to second call is each of us do a little something different. It's about 15 of us. We're all volunteers. But imagine if I took a bath and put on the same dirty clothes. No, first of all, how many of y'all do that for real right now? Thank you, bro. Man, just two of us. That's it. Taco racing. So here's the thing. So imagine if I'm working with somebody in the community and I'm getting them to change the way they look at themselves, the way they look at life, the way they view the world. They look at it different now and they're productive. But I put them right back in the same environment that doesn't support that change. I put them right back in the home that don't support that change. Put them right back in the park, in the school that don't support that change. That is like taking a bath and putting on the same dirty clothes. And then the perception. So now they go outside and they go in the court or they go somewhere and the police are there, and now the perception that society has of our young people has not changed. The perception is that these are the same criminal element, these are animals, these are terrorists, these are gang members. So let me tell you what happens when LAPD pulls them over, the sheriff, they pull them over, they call them suspects. That's what they're dealing with. They're dealing with suspects. This is not Mrs. Owens' son or Mrs. Thompson's son. No, these are suspects. And when they get in the court, they're defendants. They're there to defend themselves. So as they move forward, they go to prison, they become inmates. So you see that we have suspects, defendants, and inmates. At what point do they become people? And as we move them through the system, the process that the system has created has taken away the fact that we deal with people. These are children. And I say children even if they're 30 or 40. If they act like a child, childlike behavior, these are children that need assistance, need help. So there's a broad brush that has been swept across our justice system, that's been swept across law enforcement, where one size fits all. But some individuals need, in my opinion, a different assessment, a different set of orders, a different walk of life, where somebody might come to me within 2 or 3 weeks, I can get them employed. Someone else comes, it might take 2 or 3 months. Someone else, it might take 2 or 3 years, but the investment is in the person. We have to invest in people, and that's what we do at Second Call. I have some brochures I'll leave out here. We have 10 classes per week. We see about 250 people. Last night, our Thursday class, we had 84 people. We normally have about 50 at that class, so it's a very big class. But we see at least 30 people per class, and we have 10 classes per week. As I speak right now, there's a class that's going on at 2:30 in the city of Compton. So we have 3 classes in the prison. We are 2 in CIW, California Institution for Women. We do a domestic violence class on Tuesdays. We do a reentry class on Tuesdays. And we also do a anger management class on Wednesdays. We have 3 classes in the city of Pasadena. We have a train of trainers on Fridays, normally about 6 o'clock. But we have a class on Thursday and a class on Monday as well. In this brochure is the address to other classes. Mondays in Inglewood at Faithful Central Church. Tuesdays at the Church Christian Fellowship, South Hobart, and also on Thursdays we have Abundant Life, where most of our resources come, where we have electricians, we have a guy who facilitates a class. Big John is a general foreman, just been promoted to superintendent. He's a superintendent in the electrical union, IBEW, so his motto is, electricians light up the world. However, we have carpenters, we have iron workers, lady from Hathaway Dinwiddie who is building USC is there, Kaiser Hospital is building the Baldwin Village area. They have partnered with us. Also, Turner Construction has been tearing down Hollywood Park to build a whole bunch of different homes, parking lot, and now they're bidding to get the job to build for the Rams. So they all take, PCL is building, tearing down the Coliseum, about to rebuild for the LA Sports, it's not arena, I forgot what it's called, but it'll be for the soccer team. And they too come to the class and they pull directly from our class. Because what we produce is a quality person. We produce a person who has already gone through taking the mask off. They've done all that, and now they're talking about becoming better people, not just better employees. So with that, proceed to Mr. Owens. If there's any questions afterwards, I'll be right here. Thank you.